Hi, I'm Jason Grover for ThatShelf.com, and we're here to look at the Vancouver International Film Festival screening of TUNER.
Thanks, Viff.
So TUNER, which saw its world premiere actually at the Toronto International Film Festival, was showcased at this year's Vancouver International Film Festival. It's directed by Daniel Roher, who is an Oscar winner for his documentary Navalny. I consider Daniel a friend, acquaintance, whatever. I'll call him a friend. I hope he feels the same way. I first met him when he did the Robbie Robertson doc, and I had a chance to sort of engage with him there as somebody who's a big champion of Canadian documentaries in general. I was very excited to see his work with the band. I mean, Robbie sort of gave him this sort of showcase, and he ran with it. His follow-up film Navalny, I was a huge champion of. And so I was super excited to see what he was going to do on his shift towards fiction filmmaking. And he's made something that I think is just stellar. I love this film. I think it's so, so great. It is one of these sort of high concept films that shouldn't work, but does. You have somebody that has incredible sensitivity to sound. So he works as a piano tuner and of course gets co-opted by a bunch of sort of gangster thugs, as it were, in order to use that technique in order to do safe cracking. So you have this sort of heisty film, you have a music film, but you have something that I think is really fascinating, and I've actually had a chance to speak to a number of people about this, because the people that he goes and works in, these sort of, the criminal underworld, the security experts, they're sort of presented as, generically sort of Eastern European or something. They're just kind of guys that sort of show up. I'm reminded of Nora, where of course the Russian dynamic is at play, but the political difference between like Russia and Albania and Armenia, etc., all the A's that sort of play out in that film are sort of softened, where it doesn't really matter. You just get the political dynamic between the oligarch, the people working for them, and the sort of, the kid who's everywhere, and the woman who has sort of a Russian heritage, Moldovan, I think she is, and all of that dynamic playing out. So it's there, but it's not as crucial to the sort of understanding of the film as it needs to be. In the funny way, TUNER is as well. There's different kinds of Ashkenaz at play here, but the dynamic between Dustin Hoffman and the sort of who plays the sort of mentor of this piano tuner, and the other guys who are of this sort of never named ethnicity, speaking a language that most people don't even recognize what it is. Now, spoiler, they're Israeli speaking Hebrew. And it is fascinating that the film completely plays without you knowing or caring about the background of these particular individuals. You just know them as foreign, and they actually make this great line talking about, like, oh, we speak accents and think we're the bad guys kind of thing. That's sort of dynamic. I love that. I love that the entire film can play without something as specific as there's a specific sort of Holocaust reference made here, which is just thought of as, oh, it's just another Holocaust reference, but obviously has a completely different resonance if you know how the thing actually plays out. Let's get the full cast here. It's Leo Woodall plays the sort of main character, the kid who's sort of going through this stuff, the sort of mentor, navigating these various worlds and actually trying to make a go of it. Obviously, Dustin Hoffman, Havana Rose, Leo Raz, great. Tova Feldsha and Jean Reno, who shows up in a sort of minor part, but it's so great to see him. I mean, it's just nice to see him on screen. I think it's a fantastic casting. He absolutely plays the kind of character that's exactly that, the sort of ornery kind of conductor guy, slightly aughty and sort of above it all. Terrific casting. Again, for somebody who came from the world of nonfiction, unsurprisingly, the details in this film, the specificity of even the performance, the way the piano is played, is fantastic. You really feel that this is really a piano performer. You really feel that he can tune a piano. You feel the sound and the energy of all this stuff. There's not just somebody sort of thumping in this or just like turning a few knobs and we sort of believe it. Same thing with the safe cracking, is you kind of believe that this kind of thing is plausible with these kind of safes. I love that the fact that electronic safes are actually really easy to open, and it's actually the manual safes that require a sort of more analog dexterity, something almost superhuman in terms of his listening. And I love that that's weaponized against him in the way that the film sort of plays out. It's a real fascinating. The bad guys are just selfless. They're not superhero kind of enemies. They're just guys looking out for themselves. Very complicated sort of moral notion. Yeah, they're stealing from people that they think that they're people who won't even notice what they're being stolen from, and that's a very interesting dynamic. It's not quite Robin Hood, but it's certainly on that level of thinking that if you're stealing from a few thousand from a millionaire, are they really going to notice what's missing? Absolutely fascinating. Tuner really is perfect pitch. It is absolutely tonally great. And as I said, Roher brings the specificity of his documentaries, his real precise eye, but elicits these fantastic performances, which is something, obviously, that sort of shift from nonfiction to fiction is something, you never really know how it's going to work. It doesn't hurt that he gets somebody like Dustin Hoffman to actually show up. Maybe the big trophy helped, but it's nice to see that all of these dynamics actually work out just exquisitely. I think this film is terrific, and I'm so pleased for Daniel and his entire ensemble putting this film together. It's this tight little film that just fills you with joy, and it was so nice to see it in Toronto, and it was nice to see the Vancouver audience embrace it as well. For ThatShelf.com, I'm Jason Gorber. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, follow us on social media. We'll see you next video. All the best. Take care.